Besiege is a physics-based building game in which you create war machines and lay waste to peaceful communities and isolated outposts. Made by Spiderlink Studios and released only last month on Steam Early Access, this game has really surprised me due to how it took such a simple and, dare I say, overused concept and gave it a fresh coat of paint. But enough of that. Let's take a deeper look and find out if this game is actually worth your money. The graphics in this game are nothing to brag about. They're functional and easy on the eyes. Instead of creating a large landscape full of bells and whistles, the developers opted for a light condiment, focusing only on the task at hand and giving you enough visual feedback so it feels like you're doing something. There are some effects like vignette and ambient occlusion, but in my opinion they only hamper the experience. They're not needed, and I turned them off to squeeze the best performance I can possibly have. Still, if you're a graphics whore, the option is there. The sound here is pretty good. The game doesn't try to woo you with orchestral music or overblown guitar solos, just a very soft and simple ambient pad and the sound effects. Speaking of which, they're pretty nice. Explosions are satisfying and the machine sounds have a lot of weight to them. Pretty good sound design. Let's talk about the gameplay, which is what the creators focused on most. Even though the game is early access, there is a lot of fun to be had here. You build machines with all the parts available to you and use them to perform the different tasks the game presents you with. The thing I love the most about it is the level of freedom that this game gives you. You can complete the missions in any way you like without penalty, unlike, say, Ubisoft games. Of course, the idea is to complete it in the least amount of time possible and using the least amount of parts, but I personally didn't care about that. All I wanted was to build, and build some more. I let my imagination run wild and made whatever the heck crazy contraption I would come up with. And that, my friends, is the beauty of this game. However, I do have to warn anyone planning on buying this. The game is a casual filter. Don't expect to complete all the stages in one go or for the game to hold your hand. Things can get pretty hard if you don't think before you build, so keep that in mind. Another thing I greatly enjoy is the ability to save your crazy contraptions and share them with other players. Really welcome addition. There's even a sandbox mode where you can test your creations, although I haven't used it a whole lot yet. I also want to add that this game would really benefit from Steam Workshop support as well as the ability to create your own missions. Come on guys, get on it! This game can run at 60 frames per second on 720p during gameplay, and at 30 frames per second on 1080p. I can even get to 60 frames at 1080p if I deactivate shadows and other effects, and the game honestly doesn't suffer from it. As always, I'm running it on 512 megabytes of VRAM, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and a Core 2 Duo processor. I think the game could be better optimized, because judging by the graphics this should have no problems running at 120 frames per second. But it runs well, so I can't really complain. Sometimes you can get a little bit of slowdown if you go too crazy with your creations or if there are too many explosions on screen. But we're talking about a 5 frames dip at most, so it really won't affect your experience. Something I would like to add is that text looks horrible at lower resolutions. Anything lower than 1080p and the text looks really pixelated. I know you guys might be thinking that it's about time everyone and their mother ran everything at 1080p, but it's not the case for everybody, so it would be nice if the text scaled well. As for a demo, there is none to be found of this game. If you're interested, you will have to take a chance and buy it now that it's only $7, or try it out at a friend's place. This is bothersome, but I guess it can't really be helped. All in all, it is a good game that is clearly still in development and could use some tweaks as well as some added features. But as it stands right now, it is very well worth the asking price of admission, as it is well made and really fun to play. I would say check it out if you're interested and have the cash to spare. If you want to help me out, you can buy the game from the link in the description. And since you're here, why not take a look at my other videos and join the family by subscribing to my channel? Or you can give me a like if it's more your thing. I also would like it if you left a comment down below with your thoughts, opinions, and maybe your own creations. I read every comment. And again, thank you for watching until the very end, and have a good night.